Hi, everyone. My name's Abby Gregg, and I'll be your instructor for Painting 1 this summer. Um, I wanted to make this video just to give you a little bit of an introduction into who I am and how this course is going to run. Hopefully this video can answer any of those big questions that you might have. So I'm an artist and art educator here in Denver. This is my 4th year teaching at CU Denver in painting and foundations like Drawing 1 and 2D foundations. And I love to paint, and I really love sharing the art of painting and what's possible. One of my favorite things about painting is the way that it changes the way that you look at the world around you. When you can learn how to mix your own colors exactly the way you want them or the way that you see them, it really allows you to see the beauty in the world around you in a new way. Painting can also be an excellent way of communicating. So you can use painting to express feelings that maybe you don't necessarily have an image for. You can use painting in order to tell stories, in order to convey your personal experience. Painting is also just an excellent way of kind of getting into your own zone where you're really able to almost meditate through painting. So I hope that through the projects that y'all engage with throughout the summer, y'all are able to learn about different major subject matters in painting. So we'll cover still life, landscape, and portraiture, but also that you're able to really kind of hone your own style. So everyone paints in a different way, and there's no necessarily right or wrong way to paint. But through this class, I hope that you're able to gain some skills that will allow you to communicate your ideas and get that vision that's in your brain onto your page a little bit more effectively. So I'm really looking forward to seeing all of the work that you make and hearing what questions you have about the projects and the modules that we'll go through together. But I also just wanted to let you know that you're welcome to check out my work at abbygregg.com, which I can pull it up real fast. I think it's always helpful to check out the artwork of your professors because it allows you to really see sort of like where their skills lie. So here's some work from my recent show. Y'all are welcome to go through and check out some work of mine. These are 4x5 feet, 4x6 feet, so they're mostly really large scale paintings. But I make all sorts of things, so you're welcome to kind of like peruse my website and kind of see what it is that I do as an artist, which really kind of informs the projects that I create for y'all. But the next thing I wanted to do is to go ahead and jump over to the syllabus. So the syllabus is going to be our homepage on Canvas. And all of this course is going to take place on Canvas. And we won't have any Zoom meetings. We won't have any in-person meetings, but instead, everything is going to be done asynchronously. So this course syllabus is a really, really important guide so that you can see what exactly is going on any given week of the summer. This syllabus that I'm about to go through also includes some really important bits of information, such as how you'll be graded, what resources are available to you, and other kind of little details that you'll need to know. So this course is an introduction to the language of painting. So we're going to be working through a wide variety of different kinds of subject matter. And we're also going to be looking at a lot of art. We'll be looking at the historical and political implications of painting as an art form. Hopefully through each project, you'll really learn new techniques as well as concepts that you can bring into your own paintings. In each module or each unit, y'all will focus on a different major theme. So we'll be focusing not only on the technical skills that are involved in making a painting, but we'll also be thinking and talking about concept. So how can you embed meaning into the work that you're making? And I also recommend just reading through this entire syllabus on your own. This video is not going to go through every single thing, because I know that the longer the video, the less likely it is that people actually watch it. Here I have my instructor information. Please don't hesitate to reach out to me at any point. I prefer that y'all use this email address, my UC Denver email address, or that you message me. So you can click on the inbox here on your Canvas page, send me a message on Canvas. That's my, one of my preferred ways is your Canvas messaging or my UC Denver email. And office hours are going to be by appointment only. So I really encourage you to reach out to me at any time. And I have a link here that you'll use to join those office hours. But because I don't have set times, that means that you will need to schedule your individual meetings with me in advance. Individual meetings are not required for the course, so you never have to hop on Zoom with me if you don't want to. That being said, if you have any questions or you would like to just sort of talk through your painting or get some feedback, I really recommend setting up a time to hop on Zoom with me and look at your work. So major things that we'll focus on in this class are how to paint from life. So how to see something out there in the world and translate it and interpret it into paint. How to see value in color, how to mix the color you want, how to use your materials to your advantage, how to create balance and complexity in a work of art, how to compose with various modes of representation, and also how to create meaning in your work. So this course will focus on acrylic paint. That being said, I have videos that are optional and available for y'all if you are interested in learning gouache or oils. That being said, this course will focus entirely on acrylics. Like I said, this course will only be asynchronous, so you'll be able to do the work on your own time from wherever you happen to be this summer, as long as you are meeting designated deadlines. So all of your deadlines are on the syllabus as well as in the modules, which we'll get to in a moment. So the structure of the course is that we're going to begin with really focusing on the basics of color mixing and of building up a painting from an underpainting. So this is basically like the skeleton of your painting that we're then going to build everything else on top of. In each module, which you can also think about like each sort of major unit, you're going to have a sketchbook assignment and a major project. And there are going to be 3 of those modules. So total, you'll have 3 sketchbook assignments to complete this summer and 3 major projects to complete. That will end up being 4 total paintings that you'll make. Project number 2 will require you to make 2 paintings because it is a plein air painting project. And I find that when you're painting outside, which is what plein air painting is all about, that it's best to work on multiple pieces, and also it's all about practice. So I really recommend that y'all maybe go ahead and start thinking about what sort of landscape you want to be in to paint your plein air painting. In addition to your 3 sketchbook assignments and 3 major projects that will be due, you'll also have 3 discussion responses. So after each major project due date, you're required to respond to 3 of your peers' work through the discussion board. So I'll show y'all what that looks like. So I'm going to pop over to a new tab and I'm going to open my modules. And so for project number 1, I'm going to click on it right here. And you'll see in the project description, you're going to have everything you need to know what the project's all about. You're going to have a description of how to actually make the piece. And then you're also going to have, these 2 videos here, which are going to be really, really important. These are basically going to be your guides for the project. So once you're finished with the project before the due date, you're going to click on reply in order to submit your piece. So I'm going to click on this little tab here in order to upload the photograph of my painting. And I really recommend using this little picture icon here for images instead of the attachment down here, because what that does is it embeds the image in the discussion and it makes it really easy to see one another's work. So I'm going to click on upload image, and then I'm going to drag and drop from my desktop. This is a painting that I made, and submit it. So once you have your work submitted and your classmates have also submitted their work, 3 days later, or I believe so all of your projects will be due on the Mondays for the most part. By that next Friday, or by the Friday of that week, you're required to leave comments on 3 of your classmates' work. So the way to do that is you'll scroll down, and I'm just going to pretend like I'm someone else. I'm going to make a comment and reply to someone else's piece. So here you can make a comment. When you're giving your virtual critiques, I recommend really thinking about what are the things that really are working in the piece? What are some things that are working the most effectively in the piece? And how did that artist achieve that? You can also think about what are the aspects of the piece that could be improved? What kinds of tips do you have for your classmate? And this is an opportunity for y'all to really learn from one another. Critique is one of the most powerful ways to gain new perspectives on painting. There's so many ways to make a painting. So hearing from a variety of perspectives other than just me is going to allow y'all to really learn a lot from each piece. So once you've made your comment, you can click post reply, and you'll then be able to see your comment there. So I want to really quickly just show you the modules. I feel like I skipped over this a little too fast. So the modules are where all of the important stuff for the course lives. So you'll see here, module number 1 is all based around this major painting that you'll be making, this diorama / personal landscape painting, which is basically a still life painting. And you'll notice that the sketchbook assignment number 1 is due on June 12th, and then your project is due on June 19th. So I recommend starting kind of in chronological order, just go through the modules, starting with a sketchbook assignment. And this is going to allow you to practice some major skills that you'll need for the next project. So this can be done on that pad of watercolor paper that y'all got from the supply list. And make sure to really pay attention to each step of the sketchbook assignment. So step number 3 is to read an article and take illustrated notes. So what I mean by this is take notes in an expressive way and do so with a paintbrush for at least part of your note taking. And you can use any color acrylic paint and a paintbrush. So using one of your smallest paintbrushes in order to practice taking notes with a brush. This is a challenge that will allow you to hopefully gain more control over your paintbrush. So in each module, you're going to have your sketchbook assignment, which is really your introduction to that module. There's also going to be all sorts of other resources. So required materials and what they're used for is something I recommend y'all check out sooner rather than later, because this goes through all of the materials that I had y'all purchase and why. So what are you going to use each one of those things for? So I really recommend reading through this carefully so that you are able to look at your materials and know exactly the purpose of each thing. Another important thing you'll find in the modules is the project, like I showed y'all, as well as presentations of artists and slides for inspiration. So it is required that y'all go through everything in each module and spend your own time reviewing the material, which should help inform the pieces that you make. So each module is going to have artworks that should be some interesting inspiration that will allow you to see a variety of different styles and approaches to the major conceptual theme and prompt of the given project. There are so many ways to make a painting, and the more artists you look at, the more inspiration you'll have, and the easier it might be for y'all to really hone your own style and make creative decisions around how you want to approach your painting with your own very specific way of doing so. So within the module, there's also things like major or just general painting tips. So there's documents that I really, really recommend spending time with, as well as presentations of artists where I'm actually it's a video of me actually going through and talking about the works. So you'll notice that there are 3 modules, and each one has your sketchbook assignment as well as your project. These are all placed in chronological order. So your final project is due right at the end of the summer or the summer semester on July 26th. Excuse the noisy rain that just picked up. Okay, so please let me know if y'all have any questions about any of that. Here I have the grading policy. So this, I really broke it down pretty simply so that you're able to see that each sketchbook assignment is 10 points each. So 30% total of your grade, because you have 3 of them. Each major project is 20 points each, which is 60% of your total grade. And then your discussion responses, which, your critique is worth 3.33% of your grade, and that includes your 3 responses. Projects and assignments are due at 11:59 on the assigned due date, and they should be uploaded as a JPEG file to Canvas. If they're uploaded as some other file, I might have a hard time opening it, and your classmates might not be able to see your work. So I really recommend exporting them as a JPEG first and then uploading them. Late work will be accepted for a 50% penalty. Please reach out if you need an extension on a specific assignment. I'm really understanding if you have something come up or you need an extension, just try to let me know ahead of time. Again, here we have the grading rubric. And then expectations. The major expectations are to do your best. I don't expect anyone here to already know how to paint. If you've already been painting for a while, that's excellent. And hopefully you'll pick up some new ways of looking at painting. But if you are learning how to paint for the first time, I can assure you that you can really achieve a lot in this class. I grade based on the risks that you're taking in your paintings. I grade based on the time that I can see that you put into the paintings, as well as how well you're applying the skills that I'm teaching in the videos and the artist presentations into your painting. I do not grade based on perfection or your work being looking like your other classmates. So every single person in here is going to have a very distinct style. And that's my favorite part about being a painting teacher, is the way that each one of you are going to do so in your own way. So I really recommend leaving perfectionism at the door if you can, and really being ready to make some mistakes in your painting and work through them in your own way. So another big expectation is to have a positive attitude towards constructive criticism with our critiques, the comments that you'll make on one another's work. So really keep in mind that being respectful of one another in your comments is really, really important. So I recommend when giving feedback, really kind of thinking about that idea of like a compliment sandwich. So how can you start with something that's really working in the piece? Next, put your constructive criticism. So this is the part of your criticism where you're giving your classmates some tips on some things that they could improve, and do your best to be extremely specific. what are specific places in the painting where they could really push themselves in some way or another. And next, how can you give them advice on how to improve that? So be specific. And then in that compliment sandwich with another nice comment. That's just a way of making sure that we all walk away from our critiques feeling a sense of growth from the constructive criticism, but also a sense of camaraderie, because my favorite things are seeing how one another, how y'all really bounce off one another, pull inspiration from each other, and also support and acknowledge the hard work of each other. So please reach out to me if you have any questions about any of the course expectations, the grading rubric, or the overall structure of the course. The next major important thing we've got here is the required materials, which I've sent out in a couple of different emails. Please let me know if you have any questions about any of these materials. And also please check out that document that says required materials and what they're used for in the first module. And then the next really important thing on the syllabus is the course calendar and schedule of deadlines. So this is a really clearly laid out schedule of when everything is due, and you should be able to really rely on this to help you, as well as the to-do list on your Canvas. You should have your the things that are due. You should have those pop up on your to-do list. I believe like a week in advance or so. But checking out the syllabus and just making a plan for it, putting these in your own personal calendar is going to allow you to really succeed at meeting these deadlines and managing your time. So you'll notice that the critique responses are due on the Friday after the deadline for the major projects. And I'll do my best to give y'all reminders of these sort of things through email throughout the summer. But you'll notice that this schedule is pretty short. So the summer does fly by. It's only 2 months that we have to get through all of this course content. So it is important that you really hit the ground running, because your first sketchbook assignment is due on June 12th, which is just a week after the beginning of the semester. Here I also have a link to the academic calendar, which can be really helpful. And then some other sort of important things to check out in the syllabus. One thing that's important to look at is this appendix of resources. So especially with an online class, I think it's really important to give y'all resources in order to make sure that your name and pronouns are displayed the way that you want them on Canvas, on UCD Access, and on your email. So this guide right here, it will show you exactly how to go about the process of changing your name in UCD Access, Canvas, and email, if that's something that you need to do. I want to make sure that y'all are all represented the way that you want to be, especially when we're all communicating through this digital medium. It's important that the IT is working in a way where your identity is being expressed in the way that you want. So please don't hesitate to reach out if you're having a hard time with any of this stuff, and I'm happy to help. There's also here information on attendance, absences, discrimination and harassment, the grade appeal process, counseling services, and all sorts of other really important resources. I really recommend y'all familiarize yourself with the counseling services link. As a CU Denver student, you have access to some really excellent counseling resources, and just really remember that your mental health is the most important thing. Please don't hesitate to reach out if you need an extension because of something mental health related. I am a huge advocate for students, and I really want to make sure that you're able to be your best self. So if you need help navigating any of the counseling resources, please don't hesitate to reach out. I'm on your side. Here we also have the some other major things to look at, like the code of conduct, your educational and privacy rights, incomplete policies, disability services information, and religious holiday accommodations. So regarding all of these things, really just keep in mind that I want to work with y'all to make sure that you're able to succeed. So if there's any accommodations that I can make, please don't hesitate to reach out, and I'm more than happy to work with you so that the course really works in a way that allows you to learn based on your specific learning needs. So please let me know if you have any questions. And that's about it. So thank you so much. Don't forget to read through the whole syllabus, check out the modules, and turn in your paintings on time. I'm so excited to see the things that y'all make. And I hope you have an amazing summer. So take care.